we live, Dave?
Let's see, yes. Could be my phone, which is
Hey guys, we are live after the game on the golf course. It got pretty bad. It rained really bad. So here's a little welcome to the Yells Club. But we are in 261 restaurant right now. Are we gonna?
Big Easy.
Oh yeah, sorry. We are in Big Easy. Yeah. So we're just gonna basically talk about what we've been doing for the last 3 holes before we stop. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the important thing for me is to be able to show the difference that you have had from, we've played a lot of golf with Ash, and we've seen how he's transformed a very big hook.
Yeah.
Especially with the driver, I feel, you've transformed that really big hook into a little push and maybe a little draw even sometimes now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got the videos up there. So if we go to the first hole.
So the first video is actually me. Yep. There you go. That was my drive.
Nice.
On the first.
A little
Now,
to the right,
of course, I still have the old mentality where I'm gonna hook it.
Yeah,
So I was aiming
there.
right.
Yeah.
Let me just play that one more time. So how do I go back? There we go. So I was aiming right. I did exactly what you said. Oh, I had a very strong left grip. A weak grip. A weak grip.
Yeah, so your thumb, the V in your left hand was turned to the left. So
Yeah. So
you used to go that way.
yeah, I was always like that.
Yeah.
But now I was doing this.
Yeah.
Which encouraged me to come down and come inwards, right?
Out to in.
Out
correct,
to in.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause you get that habit of whipping it from the inside.
Yep, which was not too bad. I was in the rough, but it was on the right side, which I rarely am, and there's a forest on the left, so it's good.
Yeah, I think you have the second shot in there as well.
Yep,
so
I do have the second shot, which is here. There you go.
I mean, it still went a decent distance. You hit that about 250 off the tee.
Yeah.
And you were in no real danger
Just on the
of
right
the tee there, and you can see with your shot there, you've cleared the trees and you've managed to hit it pretty much 10, 20 foot from the pin.
Yeah.
And given yourself a chance at birdie, and you almost made the putt.
Lovely.
So you can
Pretty
just see
It's a
from that
lovely
shot
ball
tracer
flight,
how
it's
much
getting
better that line is. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
even if you,
Very
I don't
nice.
know if
Just
you
on the
got
right
the
edge.
second hole on there, your tee shot on there was really, really nice.
Yep, here's a tee shot.
It did
Lovely
draw a
shot,
little bit,
Ash.
but that's
Down.
such a beautiful shape.
Get down.
For you to see that must be quite nice.
What's
So
Yeah.
at least you can still start that ball out right and just allow it to sort of fall back down towards the pin. So, overall, yeah, we got cut short and we had a few issues with the new software, but I think, this is a really good platform for us
Yep.
to use because we can actually advertise what we're doing, and like you say, it is more interactive and you can start to really show the results on the course. And
Yeah, we also have a few shots of Dave here. This is Dave on the first. He hit a massive drive,
Yeah.
which, considering the weather, was quite good.
I think we've spoken a lot about what I'm doing. I'm obviously not practicing as much as I normally would, but the thing is, I'm hitting the right shots, and I feel very comfortable with that new move that I'm squatting and
Orange
turning.
cut.
And just the confidence. I think it's the same for you.
Yeah.
The confidence you get from hitting those shots, and I don't think we got my tee shot on the third hole, but it's a scary old tee shot with water up the left, and especially for me, I was the same as you. I used to miss the ball quite far left,
Yeah.
and now I'm standing up there, aiming it in the water on the left. I have that confidence to work the ball away from the trouble, and I think that's something that I've learned as well, is you never want to be turning that ball towards trouble. And I've always struggled to hit the ball left to right, and I think even with you, right, in the beginning when we first started working on your swing, you'd miss left on your bad one, especially if it was like into the wind. You'd go our way where you early extend the hips, flip the hands, and hit it in the water. Where now you can go, okay, I can actually shape it both ways. And I just feel the way that I'm teaching my students, I mean, this is a very similar path that he's followed. Obviously, his wasn't as severe as what yours is, but you've been doing it for years. You know, Zafran had he had a bad one, which went like your traditional shot would go.
Yeah.
But then you also had the rightness. So you know, like that was a little bit easier for me to, because he's been playing every day and he practices. It's a lot easier for me to sort of get that message across to him and get him to improve quicker. But I mean, you've sort of been going, oh, I'm gonna try it, and then you try it, and then when you play in like a Saturday thing, you go straight back to your old ways.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what always happens, because I really hated it. It felt so uncomfortable. I felt like I was gonna break a hand or something because I was so loud.
I mean, you were, so you literally rotated pretty much 180 degrees.
So my swing was always very strong, and then I put it up that way. Now I was like this, but I was still putting it up that way, so I end up like doing
your
this.
wrist is getting in like a bowed position, and if your wrist isn't used to that, and that's also a good point you make. I mean, I think we've worked a little bit on that as well, that left wrist position being slightly bowed instead of cut that way. And it is a new position, and you find guys that will go on YouTube and say, oh, I'm going to do this. But if you're not doing it with the correct grip as well, you're going to struggle. I mean, you're going to hurt yourself, because if you're in that position and I tell you to get there, you're really overextending and putting too much pressure on that left wrist. And I think that's probably what it was. You weren't used to the grip position, and definitely for sure you weren't in that position, because when you're here, you tend to get very cut in.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, it's that progression, right? And it's getting comfortable. You've had your issues with getting comfortable with what we've done. But I think the key there is, even for myself, you see me hitting decent shots and bad shots, but at least now I know where that ball's going to go, and I like to see the ball go left to right.
Yeah.
Traditionally, I never could hit that ball left to right, and now I'm actually in a position where I feel like I can stand up there and hit it as hard as I want, and it's just going to go left to right. So if there's any trouble, that's my go-to shot, and I think that's why you see the pros doing it as well. You see them just aiming it up the left, belting it left, and letting it work its way back. Because it's a safer shot. I mean, you're not hitting slices with that swing.
But that's a great point as well. I mean, before, when I had my strong grip, when I hit it right, it felt good so far. But my bad shots were really bad.
Yeah.
Like going back to my second shot on this one.
Lovely.
See, this was actually not a great shot for me, because I was expecting it to be right in the middle. But instead I landed right on the right side. As you can see from the video, that I have so much green to work with on the left side. And I felt that was a bad shot.
Yeah.
But my bad shot was still on the green.
Yeah. So it's again, it's about managing your misses.
Yeah.
Your miss with the snap hook drive, and your miss with that when you're really hooking. And same as with me. When I found I was just getting frustrated with myself, because when you are missing the ball that badly and that wayward, it's very hard to continue with your momentum. You have no momentum because you're hooking it into the water. Where that one there, if you'd snap hooked that, you would have been in that bunker behind the green, or even on a very good example is on that first tee shot. You've pushed that ball out wide. Right? That to you is not your best shot.
Yeah.
But before, you had
to the right.
And you had 5 irons to do. So you're still getting the distance, because that ball's actually staying in the air a bit longer, and I think that's very key. So, I mean, for me, it's better leaps and bounds, but obviously it's just that trusting and that confidence. And I mean, it's good to see you back out again as well. On another note, I mean, you're going to be a bit rusty and stuff, but I mean, at least you're out there, and I think this is a good way to portray the message of, you need to have a good pro who goes, you can come into the academy, but until you feel like you're 100% fit, I'm not going to let you make those full swings. I can see you're itching to get out there, but luckily you're disciplined enough to go, okay, I'm injured, I'm not going to do it. But a lot of guys will try and rush back into the process. I did say it a bit on the live, that it wasn't quite coming across clearly. So I think, if you do injure yourself, especially coming back from, this MCO, and you haven't been practicing, don't just rush into it and go to the range and start bashing balls. Start off with your short game. I mean, I think that's what we discussed in our live the other day is, you sit at home, and then you think you're going to go back to the range and drive 300 meters the first day back. It's not a good way of approaching it. It's like you haven't been able to drive for 3 months, and then all of a sudden you want to get in your car and ride around a racetrack at a F1 speed. You're gonna make a mistake, right? It's exactly the same for golf. Start off small, focus on your short game. That's the first thing that goes. 100%. If you haven't been playing golf for a while, especially in this time, go and do some chipping and cutting first. And hit a few 7-irons. Start off slow. Don't just go and try and dash driver on the tee or on the range, because you're going to hurt yourself, one. And you're going to be inconsistent. And then guess what? You're going to be frustrated. And then we're in that same boat as you, where you're just frustrated. But you're frustrating yourself. You're not going back to the right process. You're just going out and playing. And that is another key point, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we had a conversation about this on the golf course, and that's true. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with golf. I mean, I'm working in the industry. I used to play good golf, and then when I got back into golf, I played bad golf, and was very frustrated that I couldn't. And this is where I think I developed that stronger. I just over-compromised and over-exaggerated stuff to get into the feeling how I used to feel, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And I've been having that snap hook for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Every time I go on a weekend golf trip, and it's just so annoying.
It is frustrating, right? And that's the thing. Like, you can see the big difference it's made.
Yeah.
But again, this is again something I'll do with you.
Lovely shot,
coming out of your injury and stuff.
Get down.
But for me, it's like, we're trying to get you guys into a position where you can actually go out and have fun.
Yeah.
You can see with the other guys, the guys that I do videos with on the side, the same thing. Lots of frustration.
Nice.
Because they just
Look
can't
to the
break
right.
a certain sport, or they can't break a habit that they've been struggling with. And for me, it's like, well, I'm going to give you these 3 simple things, and I just want you to, if you're doing it on the range, just go do it on the course.
Yeah.
Forget about the score, and then all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, you're out there putting for birdie on every hole, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You hit the ball in the water on 3, but I mean, there was lightning and rain, and you just wanted to get done.
Yeah.
But if you took a little bit more time, you were staring 3 birdie putts in a row.
Yeah.
To the start of your round, you were having 3 birdie putts as opposed to hacking it all over the place. You were just consistent there, just off the fairway, on the green, and a chance for birdie. And that's where you're strong, is you're chipping and putting.
Yeah.
So that's how you're going to score, essentially. And that's how you're going to have fun, because you're not going to lose balls.
Yeah.
And you're just going to walk up to your ball every time, because you know exactly where it's going to go, and then you're going to knock it close to the green. And like I was saying to you guys, especially when you come back, you're going to be a bit rusty. But if you sort out that short game, and he's already done that because he's reliant on that. But for Ash, it's like, I need to get him to be consistent in his long game, because short game's not a problem. He's got a better short game than me. He putts better than me, he chips better than me, but I score better than him because my long game. It's been like that my whole life.
Yeah.
I understand that, and I'm lazy in a sense to go and work on my short game. I know I need to. But it's the same for me. If I just go and do that, I'm consistently just, I want to break 70, and I can't do it because I just don't have the confidence. I get to 3-4 under par and I go, oh, now I need to protect, because now I've reached my goal. What do? I step back, I play too safe, I get nervous, and then all of a sudden I start missing the shorter putts and I start duffing chips. It's the same thing. The long game stays, but the short game goes. And that's the same for you. I think when you went to qualifying school, it was the same thing, right? You were very confident because you were playing really good golf around here. You were 4 or 5 under, no problem. And then you got there and the greens were different. And then all of a sudden your mind goes, oh, the greens are different, I don't like this. And then what? And I think that's just the whole point of this game, is you've got to put yourself in those positions, and just you have to have a process. And that's what we've done in our live the other day with putting. You have a system in place. Because when it becomes like under pressure, it doesn't matter if it's a Saturday comp at your course or a pro event like him, qualifying school, it's the same feeling. Maybe for him it's his life, so it's a little bit more stressful, but we all feel it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's for $5 or $5 million, you're gonna have that feeling of stress, and if you're stressed and you're negative, you're gonna hit a bad shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, and you I hate to admit it, but I'm a great example, because my mentality, once I have a bad hole, I lost it. Even though we're playing 18 holes, you would always see it, like just in last week's Saturday social, I had a bad start.
Yeah.
I had a double, I think I double, and I just gave up. So around the greens, I was just, massaging about, hitting the flop shots, not really concentrating, and then after a little 5-minute break, after 9 holes, You just got some foods, got some drinks, and I went five holes in a straight, and that was a new beginning in my head. But I can't seem to do that after a hole. It always takes me 3-4 holes.
It takes you a little while, and I guess that's where when you're under the pressure, you've also played competitive golf, so it's not just us two. You've been there.
Yeah.
When I was playing my professional golf events, it's the same thing. You have years and years and years of this psychological training.
Yeah.
And it sounds silly because it's just a game, right? But it is. It's so important to just go. I used to break it up into threes. That's what I did with my psychologist. So you playing 6 rounds of 3 holes throughout the day, because it's a lot easier to focus on those 3 holes at a time than to just try and concentrate for 5 hours. It's very, very difficult. So I would have it's a 3 par 4s, and my par on the par 4s is 12 for that round. And then once that's done, it's out the way. And it's just a good way, and maybe you can give that a try, because if you have a bad start, it's not over. Because you have the ability, and we all have the ability to go out there and make 15 pars. Or you've birdied 18 of those holes out there. So why do we go, especially if it's for fun, why do we go, I'm giving up? I do the same. I'm completely guilty. I can recover from it. I'll have like a little 1 or 2 hole spat, and then I'll throw the dummy and lose my temper, but I'm getting better, and I think that's the most important thing, is to just try and stick to that process. Like you would have felt it when you've had those first few 3 putts on the first day, and you're going, oh, I've come all this way, it's so much pressure, I'm supposed to be playing well, I am playing well, but I can't score. It's not that, it's just next hole, that's it. Put those behind you and just focus. Try and set yourself mini targets throughout your round instead of this massive target. This whole breaking 90, breaking 80, breaking 70 thing is the same.
But and that's the thing, when you think about, especially me, when I think about, okay, I'm going to do I want to break 90. Whenever I think about that's what I want to do, my last 3 holes, especially in competitions, like when we had our little games, when I really need to score or just make bogeys, I mess up. But when we just casually having fun and whatnot, and all of a sudden you look at the scorecard, oh, you're doing 87, 86, 85.
And that's the whole point is, I think we got to a point where when you were playing well, it was, this is what I want you to do. And it was never, the focus was never the score. It was, where on the fairway do you want to hit that? And focusing on that swing you're going to make and the feeling. And if you're basically judging yourself not on the end result, you're basically judging your performance and your commitment through that shot. So if I pick a shot, so let's say one of those holes that we were playing today, and I hit a shot like I did on that first hole where I aimed it at the bunker and I faded it off. On that shot, strike wasn't good. Swing felt okay, and the result was good. But in my mind, had that ball gone way right, I would have still felt the same, because I'm not focusing on where that result is. I'm just trying to feel, squat a little bit, turn your hips as much as you can, and just forget about the rest. And then let's see where that ball finishes. And a lot of people can't do that. It's, where's the hole? I want the ball in the hole. And that's where these guys are, I want to break 90, I want to break 90. And then you see them like in a thick lie of rough like this, trying to dig it out with like a 4-iron from 200 yards away. And you go, well, you're not going to break 90, because all you're trying to do is get it in the hole. Play the hole backwards. Think carefully what you're going to do. It's like if we have a short par 4, if it's risk reward, we're not going to always go for that grip, especially on the day. So it's always, that's another thing to take into account. We don't want to get into that too much, but if you're sitting at a 300-yard par 4, there's trouble in your, and you're struggling with your driver, are you going to hit driver? No, probably not. You're going to hit a 4-iron or a 5-iron and give yourself a wedge, because that's your best club in your bag. But people don't do that. I don't understand. They see pros going for the green from 300 yards. Automatically now I need to go for the green. Why? Play to your strengths. Play to a distance you know you're going to pretty much hit the green. All these shots, if you look at my swing now versus 6 months ago, you can see I'm not trying to hit that ball far. I mean, it does go far because I'm getting the move right. But that's just a benefit of good technique. It's not me trying to do it. Everyone's like, oh, you hit the ball so far. But if you play with guys like these guys who play single figures in their 50s and 60s, do they hit the ball far? No. They just hit it in the fairway, and guess where they hit it? They hit it to the distance where they know they can get it on the green,
Orange putt.
or around the green, and then when they miss the green, they're missing it in the right spot. And a lot of people just forget about these things. They're just trying to do fancy things and always trying to go for like 19-20 handicap is trying to go over the water to a front right pin. You're like, what are you doing? Like, why don't you just, you can lay up on a par 3 if you really wanted to and chip it on. You're going to make 4 all day, but then you see them stand up on the tee, I'm going for the pin, I want to make 2.
Yeah, we all know someone like that in our group of golfers.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's exactly it. A higher handicaps. Even when I first started playing golf, I just focused on driver. It was the only club I wanted to master and hit as far as I
Pretty
can.
much everyone, not just you. Yeah.
So, and then this is where I ended up developing my shot game, because after a while I was like, okay, I'm never gonna hit further than anyone else. When I was doing my junior years, I wasn't the furthest hit. I was quite good, but I didn't hit the furthest. And then, and this is what I would also argue, the videos nowadays on YouTube and lessons and all that all focus on the long game, how do you build it. But back when we were growing up, like David Ledbetter and Phil Mickelson, it was just all short game, how to hit a flop shot, how to do this shot, how to do that around the green. So that's a big shift. In this.
I mean, I understand it as well, because you see all these guys beefing up and hitting the ball further, but they only show, and this is the other thing, this is the thing about golf on TV, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
They only show the guys who are playing well.
Yeah.
Never if Tiger shoots 88 on a day, he'll never do that, but let's just exaggerate it.
Yeah.
If he shoots like 8 over par, they're not going to show his round. They'll show his score.
Yeah.
And they might show one bad swing, but that's it. Then they'll focus back on the guys who are making 6-7 birdies around.
Yeah.
But the next week, that guy's going to miss the cut. Do you see him? No.
Yeah.
So people don't understand that. They think, oh, these pros are there every single week. Some guys are. They have long streaks, but then when they fall off badly, and they struggle just like you and I. And it's a struggle for everyone. But the thing is, they play to their strengths every week, and they do it for a living.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to go out there with no practice and after not playing for 3 months and break 90, if you've been struggling to break 90 for 5 years, and you're being ultra aggressive, and you're not just knocking it on the fairway somewhere around the green and giving yourself a chance for par. I mean, it's 18 bogeys, not birdies. 18 bogeys, right? It's 19.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, eventually you're going to chip one close and tap it in for your par. So if you just think about it that way, and if you're struggling with the driver, knock a 5 or a 4 iron in the fairway, and then try and just give yourself, play to your favorite distance, chip it on, and give yourself a putt. We've done that a lot with irons only. We play championship tees, 7,400 yards, irons only. Why do we do that? We don't do that because we think we hit the ball too far. We're just trying to strategize and see maybe if we do play the course a little bit differently and take all those par 5s which are driver 5 irons and now make them a 4 iron, and a wedge, what is the big difference? And the truth is, how much different are your scores? They're not. They're not. Sometimes they were even better. And that's the scary thing, is because you're leaving yourself full shots into the green. You're not losing golf balls in the water because you're hitting an iron. I mean, there's just so much to be said about just playing smart. But we don't do it.
Yeah.
Why? Because we see the pros that hit it 350 yards, and now everyone all of a sudden has to play golf like it. It doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, we're all not built the same as well.
Exactly, and you don't do it for a living. You're not hitting 1,000 balls a day. And you get the guys 40-footer, they miss the putt, they leave it like that far short, and they get upset. And I'm going, if I give you 10 balls from 40 foot and you 2-putt every time during the round, are you going to be upset? No. So why are you trying to hold putts from 40 foot?
Yeah.
It's like that old saying, how much do you think the pros average out of 10 from 10 foot? What would you say? On tour, how many putts out of 10 from 10 foot do the pros win? 8? What do you think?
Yeah, probably about 7 or 8.
7 or 8?
Yeah.
It's 4. 4.
Really?
4 out of 10. You can go and check it on the video. It used to be 4, it might be 5. But they're making 50% of those. 10 foot's 3 meters. It's a long distance.
Yeah.
They're making 5 out of 10, but you get upset every single time you miss one.
Yeah, that's true.
True?
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
Literally just now as well.
Yeah? So you get upset from 30 foot like you did.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't go in.
Yeah.
So what?
But
You're not supposed to
that's the
putt.
thing, right? We don't complain about a bad putt, but we complain about a good putt.
Not going in.
Yeah.
100%. Just 2 putt every hole.
Yeah.
unless you're like 6 foot, then you can start to look at 7, 8 out of 10. That's
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
And also skill set, right? How skilled are you? How much do you practice? Like, you can't be getting upset if you're knocking it from 10 foot this far from the hole. They will go in eventually, but if you're getting upset, you're just making yourself frustrated, and then when you get onto the next tee, you make another mistake.
Yeah,
So there's all of these little things that people do, and I try and portray the message like, don't get upset. And then they look at me like, oh, but you get upset. Yeah, but I'm a pro golfer.
Yeah.
I'm expecting to make 5 or 6 out of 10 of those. And if I don't, I'm allowed to get upset. But if you have 40 putts around,
Yeah.
you know, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So it's either your line or your speed,
Yeah.
or both. But maybe if you're having a look at your stats, don't get upset with your putting. Just understand that you're not going to make everything, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think this brings you into what you do with your students, because I've noticed how you get them to record greens and regulation.
Every
and
single
stuff.
stat that is available is fairways. You know, they got their fairways. He's got a book. All of them have a book. This is how far I hit the ball, carry. And it's not how far I hit my driver when I hit it absolutely perfect downhill, downwind.
Yeah.
It's how far I hit it on average. So I hit 10 balls, and this is how far I carry the ball. And we check it regularly, and it's the same for every single club in the bag. And we know exactly where he misses the ball. He knows exactly where that ball's going to go if he misses it, and he knows how many putts he's hit. He knows how far from the hole he's hitting it, which side of the hole he's missing it. All of these things, you know, if you get analytical about it, you can be very smart, and you can really, really knuckle down and really fixate on what you need to work on and make that better so that your scores come down. But if you're trying to just be aggressive all the time and there's no plan, of course you're not going to get better. You're going to get worse. You know, when you first came to me, there was no real plan. Now you have a plan, you have a structure, you know exactly what you need to do on the range. You have your putting drill, which you do every day, and it's just becoming like muscle memory, as one of our good friends would say, it's in the spinal cord. You know, you wake up in the morning, it's there. You don't even have to think about it. And that's why the pros are so good, because there's just so many repetitions and they do it every single day. And when they're changing things, another thing, I'm not going to ramble on too long about, but every time I play with amateur golfers, I'm changing this in the swing. And I'm like, why? Where did you hear it? Oh, I watched it on YouTube.
And then and there as well on the golf course.
Yeah, and now I've never practiced it on the. I'm like, have you practiced? Never. I'm just trying this today on the golf course.
Yeah.
How often in a tournament would you go, I'm just going to try something? You're not going to do it, right? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you put yourself under pressure for something that is 100% unknown? It's just not smart. So I think the lesson is, you know, you stuck. And what I was going to say, the whole purpose of this, obviously because we're not out of the course, is it's all about trying to take what you can do on the driving range in terms of a feeling and how you can bring that onto the golf course, and if you can.
Yeah.
And it's in your brain, right? So if you can do it for 3 holes today and you are happy, tomorrow you might do it and you might be able to do it for 4 holes before you revert back.
Yeah.
But the more you try and stick to it, even if it doesn't matter how bad you play, if you go out and shoot 100 tomorrow and you know what you're doing and your swing is good, it's going to be so much easier for you to accept, oh, I'm going to play badly for a while, and then the improvements are going to be so much bigger, right?
Yeah.
But you have 1 or 2 bad holes, you revert, then it's 96, but you're upset when you walk off the golf course.
Yeah.
So try and do, if you're seeing a pro, if you're having lessons, what I would say is take that onto the golf course. No matter how bad it feels, no matter how ugly it looks in your mind or how badly you hit the ball, just go out on the course, because everything changes when you walk off that practice tee onto the real golf course. And if you're not putting this new stuff into practice on the course, guess what? You're never going to get it right. You're going to do it on the range and then you go out onto the course, no shot. You're going to revert back immediately. So just stick to what you're trying to do and stick to one thing, stick to one coach. And try and keep the feelings minimal. Don't have 50 things. Try and keep it to 3. I think 3 is a good number, right? I think with you guys, that's what I've done. With a lot of my students, and it's not a massive change. It's small little adjustments until you've mastered those, and then you can sort of, you know, build them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think I've said what I needed to say. I had a lot to say as usual. But, but yeah, I mean, I think at least we did get to sit down and we've had a good chat about it.
Yeah.
And I think you've come off the course thinking, maybe I wish it didn't rain, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
before we played, you were kind of like, I hope it rains.
Yeah, it took a lot of convincing to get me on the golf course today. I didn't want to go. after my round last Saturday. But yeah, it was a good 3 holes we did. Had nothing to complain about. This is of course a little bit different in terms of format. We are having a casual conversation, and I think it's actually good as well to get off the golf course and just talk about stuff. And this is also where you guys can come in and ask us questions, put some in the comments, we'll go through them. Yeah, that's basically it. I think.
That's all from my side, Zafran.
Anything you want to add?
Yeah.
He's happy.
Happy to be back.
Just before we go, I'm also going to do a little ad that we can do it. But do have a look at this video. It's basically So guys, to experience the best, we have launched our Privilege Pass. It's a 355-day pass. You basically have access to the golf course. We currently, I'm going to put it up here, the prices. We currently have a promotion and we only have 2 left. If you purchase this now, we will waive the buggy fee. So there's a call to action to you guys. Do purchase this. We have individual, couples, family, corporate, and seniors. So there's no excuse basically. We also, if you do like this stuff that we do on the live, and it is a bit of a teaching for Dave teaching me and Zafran, and do check out the EPGA Malaysia YouTube channel where we have tips and tricks basically with Dave. He talks about everything from drivers all the way to bunker shots. So do check out that channel. And that's basically it. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, if you do have any comments, just please post them down below, and we'll try and get out on the course early next week again, and hopefully give you some good golf again. Thanks
Cool.
for tuning in. We'll see you.
Alright, cool. And thanks for watching.